Hey, what's up, guys? We're talking about slope, and today we're going to work on slope from tables. Okay, we did slope from graphs, so if you missed that, check out that video. Finding slope is always the same. Like you need your points, and you have to just find how are those points changing in relationship to each other. Okay, that change in y divided by change in x. The difference between graphs and tables, graphs I can see if it's linear, and I have to go find the points. A table already gives me a list of points. I have to prove that it's linear by showing that the relationship between the change in y and change in x is the same throughout my table. That's how I prove linear. It has to have a constant rate of change. Okay, so let's do this. Let's check out slope from tables. Okay, so same exact process. It's nice because my table's already like set up for me, x and y values. Those are my ordered pairs. Remember that our ratio that we're looking for is change in y divided by the change in x. That's what we're trying to find. So we set up, label everything, remind yourself this is subtracting the y values. And again, we do bottom minus the top, okay? Which in this case is the bottom minus the one above it. We're gonna look at 2 rows at a time, okay? 2 rows, and then we'll look at the next group of ordered pairs. And we just kind of march down, kind of like a ladder. We just kind of climb down. All right. So the first one that I'm looking at is 1 and -7. So I'm saying top minus the bottom. Bottom minus the top. So 1 minus -7. Remember that double negative is addition. So that's 1 plus 7, which gives me 8. But I have to prove it's linear, that it has that consistent constant rate of change. So bottom in my next pair is 9 minus the top one is 1 now. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 and 17. So bottom is 17 minus 9. That equals 8. Okay, so the change in y is 8. Look, -7 plus 8 is 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. That's the relationship. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the x values. Remember, subtract to find how it's changing. Okay, so the first two, 0 minus, the top one is -4. That's plus 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. I do the next two. 4 minus the one above it is 0. That equals 4. Do it again. 8 minus the one above it is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, -4 plus 4 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. So my relationship there is the 4. All right, so change in y over change in x, I have 8 is my change in y, divided by the change in x is 4. And we still need to ask ourselves, can I simplify? Or you could use the calculator to find out, and we will see that yes, indeed, this becomes 2 divided by 1, or we can just say 2. Okay, so our slope here is 2. That's the constant rate of change. All right, so that's what we have to do. We just have to prove that the ratios are the same. It was 8 to 4, 8 to 4, 8 to 4. Awesome. Let's do it again. So we have our table. F of x is just another way of saying y, okay? So we're going to say change in y, or it's change in y divided by change in x, right? All right, so change in y. This one, now it's a horizontal, so it's a little different. You do the second one minus the one before it. So 9 minus 11 is -2. Then I do the next pair. 5 minus the previous is 9. That's -4. Ooh, why aren't those the same? I don't know. Let's not freak out just yet. Okay, the last pair. 1 minus the previous is 5. Oh, that's -4 as well. Something's happening. But don't freak out until we prove everything completely, okay? Watch the process. All right, -9 minus the previous is negative 12. So remember, this is negative 9 plus 12, which is positive 3. Okay, and we do it again. Negative 3, let me kind of block that off, minus the previous is negative 9, which is double negative, negative 3 plus 9 is positive 6. Okay, so this is different as well. All right, let's do our last one. 3 minus the previous minus negative 3, that's plus 3, so this is positive 6 as well. Okay, this is about the time everybody's like, oh no, why don't they match? It's okay. All right, we're looking for the ratio, and so we're looking at this ratio to this ratio to this ratio. They have to be the same, right? So this first one is negative 2 to 3. Okay, looking at the changes, that's what I need. So negative 2 to 3. All right, this one is negative 4 over 6. And so is the last one. Okay, so I have two different ones. Remember, I have to simplify. If they simplify the same, we're fine. It's if they don't simplify the same, then we have an issue. Well, I know that negative 4 and 6 can both be divided by 2. So this would be negative 2, and this would be 3. Hey, look, our ratios match. So that tells me that my slope is, in fact, negative 2/3. So don't freak out if those numbers look different. Go through the whole process and then simplify. See if they simplify the same. As long as they simplify the same, we are A-okay. If they don't, double check your math. If they still don't, then maybe it's not a linear relationship, okay? All right, let's do it again. So I have another horizontal table, change in y, divide by change in x. Okay, don't let it fool you that it's stacked differently. That's why we say it, change in y divided by change in x. That's why I write it and I organize my brain, right? All right, here we go. 20 minus the previous 34, that's negative 14. Okay, 6 minus 20 is also negative 14. Yay, I love when they're the same. Negative 8 minus 6 is negative 14. And then negative 22 minus negative 8, that's negative 2 plus 8. Negative 22 plus 8 is negative 14. Cool. Okay, so change in y is all the same this time. Yay. All right, let's look at our change in x. Okay, 24 minus the previous 31, that's negative 7. Okay, 17 minus the previous is negative 7. Yay, they're matching. All right, 10 minus 17 is negative 7. 3 minus the previous minus 10 is also negative 7. Yay. Okay, change in x is negative 7. We still need to simplify, right? So negative 14 divided by negative 7 gets me negative 2. I could keep it as negative 2 over 1, okay? But that is, oh, wait. Those are double negatives, so it's not negative, it's going to be positive. Ooh, see that mistake that was almost made? Huge difference between positive and negative slope. Oh man, I'm glad that I caught that before I put my final answer. Okay, my slope should be positive 2. And so watch that. I divided. I should have double checked with Desmos and made sure, like, are my signs what I thought they were? Okay, so watch that. Don't make that mistake. All right, here we go. One more together, and then it's your turn to try it yourself. Okay, vertical table. Remember, this is y. Okay, don't let that freak you out. Change in y divided by the change in x. Okay, same process over and over and over. So we subtract to find that change. Negative 2 minus negative 8. Notice how I'm saying it so I don't lose signs. That's negative 2 plus 8, which is 6. Okay, I have 4 minus the previous one, minus -2. That's 4 plus 2. That equals 6. And then I have 10 minus the previous is 4. That equals 6. Yay, I love when they're the same. All right, let's do our x's. So 12 minus 15, that's -3. 9 minus the previous is 12. That's -3. Then we have 6 minus 9. That's also -3. Sweet. All right, let's put in our numbers. We have 6 is my change in y, divided by -3 is my change in x. Not done till we double check if we can simplify. I know I can, because 6 divided by -3 is going to give me -2. And this is negative, positive divided by negative, so my slope is -2. Okay, so that's slope from tables. Remember, find the change by subtracting, and then our ratio is change in y over change in x. We want to see, how do I divide that ratio to figure out what is happening in the story? What's the relationship between the y's and the x's?